Thursday night was another exciting episode of Chew on This, recorded with Bob Alvis, Scott Wilson, and Will Castle. Scott Wilson's residence, the host, for some NFL playoff talk. We reviewed last week's games and looked ahead to this week's. Do we all see the Packers getting to the NFC Championship game? Is Tebow magic over? Find out. Scott Wilson, Will Castle, and yours truly, Bob Alvis, chewing on some NFL playoff talk, review and preview on the Sports Buffet Podcast.
Chew on This is on the road. Bob Alvis, Will Castle, Scott Wilson. Talking some NFL football to kick things off. The playoffs are underway. Let's look back at last week's games before we look ahead, and let's go in order. Bengals and Texans. Didn't watch a bit of it. What happened?
I called the last quarter just because I had money on all the games. Texans outplayed Dalton. He didn't play great. Cincinnati made some bad decisions. It just felt like...
Show of hands who thought the Bengals were going to lose this game. All hands are up, folks. Except Justin Feldkamp, who's not here, but his hand is not raised.
It seemed like the difference was Watt making an interception that he returned for a touchdown and Cincinnati dropping a sure interception. That's kind of the way they cracked it up.
But I know we've done the review and everything of the teams. I think the Bengals still have to be pleased.
Oh yeah,
the year.
They outperformed what they were. I think they were predicted like 5 wins.
Yeah, probably really hurt themselves in a way because now you don't get a good draft pick. Except wait, the Oakland Raiders have entered it, so you get the
you get two
second round pick.
It's first round pick.
No, I thought they had to win the. Thought Oakland had to
They would have gotten a first round the following year
if they went to the playoffs.
If they went to the playoffs.
And Cincinnati's Paul Brown is just saying, "Damn you, Hugh Jackson."
Hugh Jackson's probably saying, "Damn you."
Right. he's saying, "Damn you, Reggie McKenzie." But anyway, we move on to Saints and Lions. Saints look good, real good, real good.
Offense did.
Yeah, offense did.
Well, that's what I count. They have defense.
Actually, in parts of their offense, Breeze made some mistakes. Should have been. Did he ever get intercepted?
Yes, I think he did.
He should have been 2 interceptions. That one, the short guy, it literally went right through his hands. And then the fumble that he had, he made some mistakes, but it's just Detroit. Detroit never couldn't capitalize on as much. I took the under in that, and I was feeling good until coming near the end of that third. I'm like, no, I'm screwed. Then all of a sudden,
the way the Saints run the ball is short passes. They don't run the ball per se. They are always throwing.
But yes, they look really good.
We'll get to this week in a minute. But any more thoughts on the Saints and Lions?
No, I think it turned out pretty much exactly how I expected.
Giants and Falcons.
Here's the thing about that game. Atlanta had a chance early to go ahead and put the Giants out of their misery. Giants played terrible in the first quarter, and Atlanta managed 2 points.
Yeah.
Then once the Giants got into gear, Atlanta just folded.
Yeah. Yep. Atlanta managed 2 points the whole day. 2 points.
They prop bet on if the first score Atlanta would have would be a safety 50-1.
Wasn't there something about some guy won money?
Yeah, because he did that.
Right.
Good on you, sir.
You should join the world of Twitter. You can find out these little anecdotes.
Or you can just be friends with people that...
Yeah.
They're on Twitter.
I just hope those people keep talking to you. And that you don't lose any confidence in them. Matt Ryan, is he I don't want to say a bust. I don't think that's fair. But, is he going to... What is this? Is 2 or 3 years now?
It's 3 years.
Oh. Who was the first one?
Arizona.
Is he getting a stigma here?
I don't know that it's all him, although he's not a very good quarterback.
But the quarterback is the face of the franchise, whether you like it or not.
Well, not every team. Face Baltimore is Ray Lewis.
Okay, but on the offense, the quarterback's going to take the blame.
Yes.
When have you ever heard a running back or receiver take the blame for a win or loss? Seldom.
That 3 4th down calls only goes for 2 of them the coaching decisions were horrible in that. But also,
Mike Mularkey now gets promotion to Jacksonville off that.
But also, 4th and inches, and you sneak. Matt Ryan weighs 180 pounds soaking wet with a chain around his neck. It's just the Giants are stacked up for that run. Fake it, throw a pass.
If I was Green Bay, I would have wanted to see Atlanta this week.
Yes.
Too. But
I agree.
Now that the Falcons have an opening on the offensive coordinator because Mularkey did go to Jacksonville, I wonder if Mike Smith would call.
Mularkey, head coach? Is that what he is?
Yeah, he's a head coach in Jacksonville. I wonder if Mike Smith would call Brian Billick. Brother-in-law.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're kinfolk, I believe. If not, just strike that comment from the record. But I'm pretty certain they are some type of kin. Then the final game. Denver and Pittsburgh.
Will's already signed.
Go ahead. Start.
The proof that God has a sense of humor. No, that wasn't mine. I heard that somewhere, and it's like, it's true.
Tebow threw for what, 316?
Yes.
Well, Tebow threw for 100, and his receivers got him 316. Yeah, Tebow 316. Where are the posters been made yet for that?
I'm sure there'll be
They're
some
already
somewhere.
hanging in people's bedrooms.
T-shirts.
Tebow 316
Shot
says,
glasses.
I just prayed for you. And the funny part is that I'm watching that overtime, and I mean, Denver just tried to choke that game away. 10-point lead. McGahee fumbles, and it's like all right, Pittsburgh's gonna take this, and then Gwynn goes into overtime and one pass. When it happened, all I could do was laugh. I just butt-gusted laughing just because could not. It was just ridiculous. One dinky dump play, game's over. Good on him for that, but I really hate. The one thing I always hate about in stats is quarterback throws for blah 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 yards. Like, no, he threw for 5. Running backs, but there's no way to. I mean, I almost wish the stats would reflect what he threw and what was made after the catch.
Yeah, but there are times, too, where, a quarterback gets an incompletion when his receiver clearly dropped the ball. So, I mean, that goes...
I know, it goes both ways.
Now, here's my question.
But they did cover, and I did take Denver in the points.
Well,
and the over.
That hit, too?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, over was 33.
What was the final again?
29 to 23.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the over definitely hit. What if those games had been flopped and Houston had hosted Pittsburgh and since he had gone to Denver? Do you think we'd have any different results in terms of who's still playing? I mean, I know it didn't happen. There's almost really no point in...
Maybe.
I think Pittsburgh beats Houston.
I think Cincy beats...
Ryan Clark can actually play at Reliance Stadium.
Yeah, but you still got Gimpy Ben.
Yeah, I'll take Gimpy Ben.
I would almost sort of thought if it had been the way Cincinnati could have beaten Denver because they already played them once, and I think more people would have thought Denver would beat Cincinnati than.
Right. I don't think Denver plays nearly as well as the favorite.
No, they don't. No, they love.
No, they sure as hell don't.
Yeah,
I'll take that in week 17.
No.
Still haven't let it go. Not yet.
I know.
Maybe by week 1.
Maybe by our next podcast.
I doubt it. Let's look at this week's matchups.
I'm
sorry.
Let's also, we talk about status.
It's your podcast too.
The status of the other teams that are out. Pittsburgh. Where does that leave them? Beyond the fact that Roethlisberger needs a new fashion coordinator.
Do you think they need a different running back?
I don't know.
As opposed to what? Rashard Mendenhall?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was hurt, for one.
Yeah,
but I get where you're going with this. I would rather have a better number 2. Let me put it that way. When the Giants lost Bradshaw for a while, Brandon Jacobs is still pretty steady, in my opinion.
You might want a better number 2 quarterback, too. Just in case.
But I don't think they take Ben out. Right? And, the only way Roethlisberger was going out is if he couldn't walk.
Yeah.
Period. But, I think, Dick LeBeau in defense is not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere until he's
pretty old.
Right, but I mean, it's going to be his choosing or the Lord's choosing before he goes. I don't think it's going to be Mike Tomlin or Rooney. And I mean,
Tebow decides that he's done. He's done.
Bad call. I mean, you put it. Well, I don't even know if you can say bad call putting 11 in the box all day because Tebow's proven he really is not a successful passer.
Yeah, and I mean, they were saying that every time Denver set up a certain way, they did the same thing, and they did it again, but it was a trick play. Good on them for that. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it seems like, but my question is Pittsburgh too old? Are they getting up there? Are they looking at maybe a decline coming up?
I tend to think they'll find a way to get back into.
They never go out
they normally do
and spend big money in free agency. They build from within.
Yeah.
So we might not be able to answer that question until after 2 or 3 more drafts.
I kind of figure at some point James Harrison's just going to take himself right out of the league. He's going to do something incredibly stupid, piss off Goodell, and bye.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the expectancy of somebody playing at a high level on the defense, too, has also gotten shorter. Like, I don't know how good Palomalu is, how many years he can keep up a high rate.
Yeah.
Same thing for, how old is Clark?
Clark's probably in his early 30s.
Okay, well, as long as he stays out of Denver, he's okay. Can't play there. But any more comments before we move on?
Go ahead.
Okay, I like to say this podcast is like a ship's wheel. Everybody has a hand on it, so I get to be the captain, I guess.
Next time we pick the metaphor.
Yeah, exactly. You feel free. I'm just giving 110%. That's all I know. Saints and Niners on Saturday. This one scares me.
I think it should scare you a little bit. I mean, I think that the Saints win, but 49ers are a well-coached team. They got a good defense. I don't think the Saints are hanging 35 on them.
Mm-hmm. But if they do, that game's over.
Yeah. Saints get no more than 24. In my opinion. If they get more than 24, they win. No question.
Everyone seems to be making a big deal of the fact that it's going to be outside, but I think the weather report is going to be relatively decent weather.
Saints aren't as good on grass.
I just think if they get up by more than 7 points, it's over. If the Saints get up by more than 7.
Well, David Akers.
Yeah.
I mean, if he can kick 3 field goals at the start of the game, they can give up 1 touchdown to New Orleans. I just don't. I mean, I think Alex Smith's life as a quarterback in San Francisco depends on this game. I think if he fails, they draft somebody. And I don't even know, maybe trade up. I don't know how high up. Or maybe, people have been talking about the Cardinals cutting Kevin Cobb. I don't know why.
That's not going to happen.
I mean, San Francisco may go the free agency route, or does Harbaugh... I don't think you can trade up enough with Indy now. I mean, Indy seems pretty dead set.
Yeah.
Do you trade with... you probably don't trade with the division rival, even though they might not take the quarterback. In RG3, who's third?
Who's the third pick in the draft?
What team is selecting third?
Minnesota?
Yeah, I believe it's
Okay,
Minnesota.
they don't take... Maybe there's your trading partner if you want, but I don't...
I don't see them getting rid of Smith. I mean, maybe if he has a horrible game,
I don't know. I mean, just 3 guys talking here.
I don't know. I think Smith gets... He had a good year. They won the division. I think he gets another year at minimum. He's got to really screw up in San Francisco. Just the fact that he's like, hey, we did well with him doing this. Maybe he gets better.
In New Orleans, like we talked about in the previous podcast, a lot of holes to address after this one. Colson's a free agent. Starks up front's a free agent. Breeze is a free agent, but I think that's probably a formality.
Oh, yeah.
That he
I feel like with the Saints that it doesn't matter which wideout. If you take out one of the wideouts, they're still going to be fine.
I don't want to test it with Colson, though.
Okay.
I'd rather keep him. I mean,
I kind of see all their wideouts
Meacham's a free agent, too. I think Meacham probably leaves if he wants to have a more significant role in somebody's offense, but
they'll bring somebody in there replacing that.
Yeah. I mean, I think as long as Drew Brees is throwing a ball, the receivers are going to be made good. That brings us to Saturday primetime game. Broncos and Patriots.
Can't wait for this game.
Yep.
I'm just going to say it would not surprise me at all if Denver wins. I don't think I'm going to pick them.
Considering I think New England teases it or gets the number, and I'll even go 6 higher. I'll give you another touchdown on top of it. And I think New England covers 19.5.
I don't know if I'm betting on this one or not. Just
How can you bet on a Denver game? It's just what? How can you have any clue what's going to happen?
that's why it's a crapshoot.
Well, I know, but some things you feel a little more.
Yeah,
sure
some things you
than
feel
others.
really confident on. That's why a lot of times I was that point I'll bet over under. I'm not even confident on that this year.
What's the over under?
I haven't even checked because if I was to guess, it'll still probably be in the high 30s. I bet.
I'll take
I don't
over
think I'd hire
on that.
You know, but
I mean, I would think if I had to guess, I would think it's probably 4 to 46.
They had an
Maybe as high as
over-under
48.
on Mike and Mike this morning. It was like over-under 150 passing yards for Tebow. It was like way over.
Well, I mean,
Finished for 316 against Pittsburgh.
here's the thing, and I know how much you love the Patriots' passing defense, or defense as a whole.
Or lack thereof.
But I think if he throws a couple quick picks, or turns it over a couple times early, which is what I'm counting on, I think the Patriots I think this one's over in the third. I really do.
It certainly could be.
I truly do. I don't think New England's... I haven't watched a ton of Patriots football this year. I don't think New England's defense is, anything to shout about. But I think Tebow will make that defense look good. If you catch my drift.
yeah, no, it did the first time.
I thought Tebow actually played pretty well against the Patriots the first time. It was the turnovers and
that
the
second quarter, I
defense
believe. Yeah.
that let him down.
And same defense.
It's going to be tough on the road, though.
Yep, it's going to be really, really tough.
Was last game was in Denver?
Yep.
Yeah, it was in Denver.
I actually thought Denver had a chance. I picked
They
them.
came out pretty hot.
Yeah.
That second quarter
I
killed
picked New
them.
England. I probably won.
All right.
Everything comes back to Denver.
Bitter party won.
Sunday. Go. Are we done?
Will has one more thought.
Okay.
No, please.
Here's what.
I've got the time if you do.
Because you know how much I like to hate things? Mm-hmm. Here's what really pissed me off at the end of the game. And here's where it's like, I really wish some people would notice this more. End of the game, Denver wins. Tebow decides to walk to the side, go in the end zone, pause, then do his move. Clearly waiting for the camera people to show and get around him. Because I kind of see him, in the corner of his eye looking for them to do it. And I'm like, just like all the other ones. You ain't that special. You just like a media hoe, just like the rest of them. You ain't better.
Who's your favorite athlete based on, you think he's a really good guy type of thing, if you get where I'm going? And I'll even violate the NFL portion of this podcast, any sport.
I think he's a really good guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's somebody you like, and maybe not necessarily from your team. In fact, I'd almost prefer it not be.
Yeah, if you say Tony Romo, I'm going to leave.
No, I bet he's only a little bit.
But if you say somebody, just somebody that you like just because you like the way they do things and they're a good guy, and
I like Rodgers. Rodgers seems like he's a genuine guy.
Right. I don't know. This question really had no merit. I mean, everybody, I'm sure Aaron's looking for the camera when he does.
You mean the discount double check?
Discount double check, right?
Actually, he says he doesn't do that. He kind of, because he saw, how he said he stopped doing that. He was on PTI, and they were asking him. He's like, I kind of stopped doing that a lot. Just it's not about the belt anymore and type of stuff. I don't know. It's just it's really irked me that these non-football fans getting on this Tebow bandwagon and in a week and a half aren't going to know shit about football.
Why? That's good for the league.
I agree with him.
I know. I like to hate.
Most tweeted athlete ever. In
Most
a
tweeted
certain
moment.
Yeah, most tweeted. That's what I meant. I knew
9,000 tweets per second.
I knew you were going to come to my rescue on that because I didn't know I knew where I was going. I just didn't know.
Sorry.
Yeah, and sheet book just went.
Right.
Oh, lit.
Right. Yeah, I'll tell you, if you had your DVR on pause, or you were like a few seconds behind, and you were on Facebook or Twitter, talk about the biggest surprise ruiner of ever.
Spoiler alert!
Right, exactly.
Well, a lot of people actually that I've heard of turned away to something else.
Really?
And missed because first play.
Because it was like third quarter it ended. Like I needed to take a shower, so I just paused. And I figured because it's great watching a football game. That's been recorded because you can zip past, you can knock it out in 5 minutes. So knocked that fourth quarter, and then I have to go upstairs because something. DVR is about to record 2 things. I got to switch up. Hit pause again. Go. Take a whiz and shit. Come back. Hit play, and it's like, good thing, because that would have really pissed me off. Because it was really good to see live.
Even though you didn't really see it live.
Well,
You caught up, I guess.
Delayed live.
I did not go on the book
Right.
or the Twitch
Good for you.
or anything like that. And you're like,
Good for you.
it happened virtually live.
That brings us to Sunday. Ravens and Texans. See Ravens rolling.
Yeah, this out of the 4 is the one I'm least interested in.
Least interested in, yes,
Yeah.
but I can see Houston pulling
You
some.
picked Houston.
I can see Houston pulling some crap out of their butt.
I don't.
They've
They've got to force mistakes, I think.
Yeah.
From Flacco.
Well, and if they can hold Rice down, which is a hard thing to do, I don't know.
Well, what color is TJ Yates, though? I don't know how well he can do
He's
against that Ravens defense. I mean, I just see the Ravens. If this was in Houston, I might give Houston the old puncher's chance.
Yeah.
Well, you'd probably have to because they'd be the higher seeded team. But I just don't see it. Don't see it. On to the next game.
That's my sister.
Call back. On to the next game. We hope Will's sister's not listening to the podcast. Just ignored your call. Packers and Giants.
Go
I'm
Packers.
interested in this one.
No, because it could
Yeah,
be.
it should be. Remember the last time they played each other in the playoffs?
When was the last time they played each other?
When they played in the NFC Championship game and the Giants won to go to the Super Bowl, and they were
Oh yeah, Brett Favre.
favored.
Brett Favre throwing the last pick of his career in Green Bay. Yes, and how could you forget that? Apparently I did, but I think the Giants can actually win this game.
They can.
I don't say it'll happen, but I think
See
there's
Green
a,
Bay coming off the rest. I don't see them losing. But
Yeah.
I think it could be a very close game.
I think they might. I think maybe the first half, first part of the first quarter, they might come out a little rusty, But I think if they get their groove real quick, I think they take them.
I think you give the Giants defense some confidence though, and who knows?
Yeah.
Well, the Giants can't come out and play as poorly as they did at the start of the Atlanta game, or they're just going to get rolled. If they start fast, they'll be all right.
Who is the key in this game? And if it's not a who, you can give the.
I would say
I think
the line, the offensive
Giants,
line, of the,
Giants defensive line.
I would say the Packers' offensive line. So the same.
Yeah.
I say Eli.
You figure Eli is going to be Eli.
I mean, well, I don't think Eli necessarily has to do well, but I think it's Eli can't do bad.
You can't turn it over.
Right, Eli, and I mean, I don't think Lambeau is as deadly
As it used to be.
as everyone else believes.
Well, and the Giants aren't the kind of team that's going to be intimidated by the weather and all that other stuff.
And also, and Giants fans are just as, fervent. Let's go with that. Fervent as Packers fans. And Giants play in the cold weather. I think they can deal with if the crowd gets into it, except if Eli throws a pick six. Eli throws a pick six.
Depends on what it is. I think.
I think I'd be worried about one of those strip sacks from Matthews, because Eli tends to do that, give that up occasionally.
So let's go back. We all like the Saints.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like them by a lot, but I like them to win. We all like the Patriots.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll pick the
Okay.
Patriots.
We don't all like the Ravens.
I think he used to pull the upset.
Okay.
I really do.
We like the Ravens.
Yes, we like the
Okay.
Ravens.
And
Packers.
Packers.
Packers close.
As Lee Corso would say, closer than the Express thing.
Right.